How's it going? Dave here, and in today's video I'm going to be talking about the major 7 sharp 11 chord. This chord is one of my favourite chords because there's so many cool uses for it. Now some of those uses are as a diatonic chord, but then you can also use it as a non-diatonic chord to spice up your chord progressions, and you can use it to modulate into completely different keys. I'm going to be showing you how to do all of those things in today's video. But first we need to analyze the chord and see what the chord's all about. So the chord is constructed from a root, 3rd, 5th, 7th, 9th and sharp 11th. And if we were to take, say, a C major 7 sharp 11 chord, we'd have the notes C, E, G, B, D and F sharp. Let's take a look at a couple of ways we can play the chord with the root on the low E string and the root on the A string. C major 7 sharp 11. We are going to be playing with our middle finger on the low E string at the 8th fret. We're going to be using our ring and little fingers to play the 10th fret, the 9th fret I mean, of both the D and G strings. And then we're going to use our index finger to play the 7th fret of the B string. Very lovely sounding chord there. And you could even use your index finger to bar the high E string as well and play the 7th fret of that as well, which will add another major 7 into our chord. Now for the A string, you can play 3 on the A string, that's our C, that's our root note. Use your middle finger for that. Then the index finger on the D string at the 2nd fret. We're going to bar the top 4 strings with this finger. Then we're going to use your ring finger to play the 4th fret of the G string and little finger to play the 5th fret of the B string. And because we're barring with our index finger, that's going to be playing the 2nd fret of the high E string. And there you go, we get that chord as well. So how do we use the chord? So say we were in the key of C. Diatonically, we could not use the C major 7 sharp 11 because of course we don't have an F sharp in the key of C. But all of the notes in our C major 7 sharp 11 chord are contained within the key of G. C in relation to G is a 4th, so that means you can play C major 7 sharp 11 as your 4 chord in the key of G. Meaning any major 7 sharp 11 chord can be used as a 4 chord. And I've prepared an example using the C major 7 sharp 11 chord as the 4 chord in the key of G, so take a listen. Now, if you want tabs or chord charts for everything in this video, head to the description and they're all at my Patreon page. But let's continue. The C major 7 sharp 11 chord could be used as our 1 chord if used carefully. We can use it at the end of a chord progression and it just spices things up a little bit. It's not going to be all diatonic because we've got that F sharp, but it does sound quite cool. And again, you do have to be careful, use it with caution because sometimes it might not sound so good. Depends on the situation. So take a listen where I've written a very basic chord progression, C, A minor, F and G, and finished on this C major 7 sharp 11 chord. And I'm using a different fingering for this one now, so we're playing the 3rd fret of the A string, the 2nd fret of the D string, and we're playing the open G and B strings, and the 2nd fret of the high E string. So take a listen to that example. Now, I said that we can use the major 7 sharp 11 chord outside of our key, which we just did, but there's another way we can do it, and that is by playing it on the flat 7th degree of our scale. And you play that before we go to the dominant chord. So let me explain what I mean by that. If we're playing in the key of C, we want to play our major 7 sharp 11 on the flat 7 degree. So the flat 7th is just a step below the root note of your key. So a step below C is going to be B flat, so we're going to play a B flat 7 sharp 11, a B flat major 7 sharp 11 chord, and we're going to play that before we get to our dominant chord, which is G7, our 5 chord, and then we can resolve back on the C again. Okay, so I've written a chord progression in the key of C. I'm using some quite cool extensions to these chords. I think I've got a 6/9 chord in there, a C6/9. Yep, an A minor 7, that B flat major 7 sharp 11, and then a G9 I think. And then actually I resolve on a major 7 sharp 11 chord on the 1. So a lot of things in there. Check it out and see how it sounds. Okay, so now is where the video starts getting a little bit interesting. Let's take a melody in the key of C major. So as you heard, we're just basically running up the C major pentatonic scale. And what we're going to do is we're going to choose any one of these notes. And I'm going to choose this E here. So when we land on this E, we can change chords to a major 7 sharp 11 chord. Now, which major 7 sharp 11 chord do we change to though? That's the question. We have to change to the major 7 sharp 11 chord that makes the note in the melody, E, the sharp 11th. What major 7 sharp 11 chord has E as the sharp 11th? Well, it would be B flat major 7 sharp 11. We've used this before, but let's use it again. Okay, so when we go to that E in our melody, we're going to play that B major 7 sharp 11 chord and resolve back to C again, yeah? Now luckily, the same melody worked over that B major 7 sharp 11 chord, but you do have to be cautious because the major 7 sharp 11 chord that you're going to go to is not diatonic to your key, so you're going to have to change the scale that you're playing. And the scale that you play is actually the Lydian scale with the same root note. So say we're moving to B flat major 7 sharp 11, we play the B flat Lydian scale over that chord. Okay, so let's take another example. We're going to use that same melody, but now we're going to take this G note, and we're going to play a major 7 sharp 11 chord over the G. Now the G has to be the sharp 11 of the chord, so what chord would make G the sharp 11th? It would be the D flat major 7 sharp 11. So we're playing a D flat major 7 sharp 11, and I've adjusted the melody ever so slightly just so it fits in with this chord, and we're resolving back on the C chord, okay? Or the C chord is played up here, in fact. So take a listen to how that sounds. Right, now we can take this technique and use it to change keys. Now this is where things start getting a little bit exciting. As I mentioned near the beginning of the video, the major 7 sharp 11 chord is used as the 4 chord in your key if it is to be played diatonically. So what we can do is we can use our melody to guide us, choose a note that we're going to change chords on. So let's take this E for example, which we're going to use in the next example. We change to B flat major 7 sharp 11 because E is the sharp 11. But now we've changed keys, so B flat major 7 sharp 11 is the 4 chord in the new key that we're playing. So B flat is the 4 in the key of F, which means we've changed to the key of F. All right. Once we switch to this B flat major 7 sharp 11, we've transitioned to F, so I'm going to move to C7, which is the dominant chord, and then move to F, which is our 1 chord. When we've moved to the key of F, I start using the F major scale, which is the same as the B flat Lydian scale, just at a different starting point. The chord progression is C, A minor, then when we move to that E note, we switch to the B flat major 7, C7, F. Okay, take a listen to it. Now, as you can hear, that sounds very, very smooth. You can get some really, really smooth modulations using this method, and it will work for any note in your melody. So do experiment with your different options, see what works the best. Now, if you enjoyed this video, please click like, that helps out a bunch. Let me know what you thought in the comments. That also helps me a bunch. That helps YouTube boost it to more people. So a comment would be very, very highly appreciated. Subscribe to the channel. Make sure you hit that notification bell. If you haven't done so already, you can head to my Patreon page where there are resources, for this lesson and exclusive lessons as well for as little as $2 a month. And you absolutely don't have to do that because I'm continuing to create free content on YouTube, but the support would be greatly appreciated. Also, if you're looking to write some really interesting, unique, sophisticated sounding chord progressions, then head to the description as well, and I'm offering the first 2 chapters of my book Chord Charisma for free. In those first 2 chapters, you're going to learn how to write a very cool chord progression and then build it into something more sophisticated and awesome with the use of extensions like 6th, 7th, 9th, 11th, 13th. There are chord charts for all of those things there, so definitely check it out. You've got nothing to lose by doing that. I'll catch you in the next video, so have a good one.